Hey, what's up? This is your boy Nathan here, and you're watching Roadmasters. So, do you go with the bag system or bagless? Let's check out the cleaning ability of the Shark IQ versus the Roomba i7. Let's get started. Okay, so both the Shark and Roomba have a very similar app. You can press to play or clean the entire house. Also, you can select a certain room. I select my dining room, and here's the test of how loud each robot is. The Roomba had no problem going to the dining room. It took about 23 seconds, probably one of the quickest, even like compared to the Roborock, goes straight to it. But one thing to note is the Shark IQ's bin is rotated 45 degrees. I did try to rotate it back to line up with the Roomba, and unfortunately I would have to remap, so I decided just to leave the bin as it is because I don't want to have to go through another mapping process with the Shark IQ. So you see that the Shark IQ will just kind of go back and forth a couple runs or times, and then it will eventually figure out where it's at in the room and then make its way towards the dining room. So I did try to line up the Shark IQ base with my Roombas, and unfortunately the robot required a remapping, which I don't feel like I want to do right now since it took so long the first time, about 41 cleaning runs in total after a reset. So for now I'm just going to leave as is, but maybe in the future I will try to line up the Shark with the other cleaning bases. But anyways, the Shark does make it to its dining room table, so that's probably the biggest thing right now. Is Shark needs to update the algorithms, maybe make the cleaning runs within 3 to 5 cleaning sessions instead of the minimum 10. Okay, so it looks like the Shark finally got to the dining room table. It's about 30 or so feet away, so it took about 2 minutes. So not the most elegant solution, but you know, these aren't race cars, so as long as you can get to the selected area, I'm happy with it. Okay, let's go ahead and see how well the Shark does compared to the Roomba. I'm actually going to do a split video for you guys and try to showcase them in the same locations at the same time. But you know, these guys have different algorithms. Even though Shark claims that it's very similar to the Roombas, I think the algorithms are slightly different. The Roomba, you will see in this video, is a little bit more refined, but I'll let you guys see for yourself. I put some chips down in between the chairs and also on the open areas, and we'll see how much these guys can pick up. Now with the Shark IQ, I found that making the map was a little bit more difficult because on my iPhone, the screen or ratio, whatever you like to call it, didn't really line up to my screen aspect ratio, so the map looked really small. I don't know if this is just because I'm running an older iPhone. It's an iPhone 8. Maybe you guys have better luck with the newer iPhones like the iPhone 11, but on the Android version it had a better scaling on the screen, so it's easier to create the map on an Android version. Hopefully they come up with an update, and I have heard that Shark's coming up with a new update in November, so we'll see about that, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. It looks like the Shark is almost at the same spot at the Roomba, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. And keep in mind is I tried to put the boundary in the exact same area. Okay, let's go ahead and do the side-by-side comparison of the cleanup test of my dining room table. So it looks like the Roomba started more towards the area in the center of the room, where the Shark started towards the perimeter of the room, more towards the doorway. But they both are starting in the same area for this video, and I sprinkled chips in about the same area as well. One thing I did is I actually put chips in the chairs themselves, like in between the chair legs. We'll see how well the robots can get between the chair legs and clean those chips. One thing to note is both the robots are about the same diameter, but you clearly see that the Roomba has a little bit easier time navigating the chair legs. It's probably due to the more refined algorithms on the Roomba. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys like the Shark or do you guys like the Roomba i7? I will give you my opinion, but you know, this is my opinion, and this is just from the testing of both robots. I do think that the Shark and Roomba, just as the cleaning standpoint alone, are about the same. You'll see at the end of the video how much chips they both picked up. One thing to note is the i7 has a very fast spinning side brush, which tends to kick up more debris, whereas the Shark's dual side brush system is a little more refined. It's able to not scatter its debris as much, and it's able to get to corners pretty well. So it's kind of a toss-up. It's up to you guys what you guys like. I know you guys have your own opinions, and that's fine. But just from what I've seen in my testings, it looks like the Shark and the Roomba are on par in terms of this pickup ability. I know everyone has a different scenario and different floor plan, and you just kind of have to try out these robots for yourself and figure out which one's the best, because in my scenario the Shark may be good, but in another person's home the Shark might be bad, and vice versa. Alright, so let's just go ahead and just watch these guys run for a bit. Okay, I do apologize if this video is a little long. It's like 20 plus minutes, but I kind of want to show the entire cleaning run of both the robots. I did speed up parts of the Shark IQ because it kind of got hung up. It literally took, I believe, 40 minutes to do the entire job. The Shark IQ was definitely really slow. I think it's due because of the poor efficiency. It kind of got hung up on the chair legs a few times and also got confused a few times, kind of went out of the room, cleaned up a little bit, and then went back to the room. So if you're looking for a robot that's real efficient, then I would stay away from the Shark because you'd be poorly disappointed. But keep in mind that both these robots don't even come close to like the Roborock. The Roborock is definitely the king in my opinion in terms of efficiency and navigation. One part due to that is the LiDAR system. Yes, LiDARs tend to do really well in these types of environments where there's walls and obstacles that are about a foot off the ground. So yes, that's great. But I have seen computer vision systems that do really well. Have you guys heard of the Skydio 2? It's basically a drone with 5 cameras on it, and it can navigate trees and other obstacles in real time up to like 38 miles per hour. One of the most impressive consumer grade robotics machines out there. I may get it on my channel, haven't decided. I did pre-order it, but it's like $1,000. So who knows? I may get it, I may not. Alright, let's keep going on these guys. So it looks like both these guys are kind of doing their thing. The Shark is kind of confused right now, trying to figure out how to get away from these chair legs, and it does struggle, but you'll see a side-by-side comparison of the Roomba i7 in the same situation, but has no problem figuring out a way to get out from these chair legs. I may have already asked you guys this, but if you guys are new to my channel or if you haven't commented on my videos, let me know down in the comments what your favorite robot vacuum is. Just from what I've read, a lot of people like the Roborock, a lot of people like the Roomba, and I have gotten a lot of people that dislike the Shark, which is understandable. I think Shark kind of dug itself in the grave when it kind of compared itself to the Roomba and kind of bragged that it had the same technology as the Roomba for half the price. I think that's kind of blow to Roomba because yes, you know, there's a lot of competition for these robot vacuums, but kind of rubbing it in your competitor's face is probably not the best thing to do. I think Shark should just lay low and try to promote the robot vacuum as its own, because the Shark does have a lot going for it, especially for the price and all the features it offers. You know, a self-emptying bin, smart mapping features, the ability to work with Alexa and Google. One key feature with Alexa is you can tell the Shark to go to a certain room, very similar to what the Roomba does, and unfortunately a lot of robot vacuums don't have that capabilities. Even like the Roborock, you can't tell the Roborock to go to a certain room by voice. You have to use the app. Hopefully Roborock listens and comes up with the app update to allow this feature, but for now you can't do that. A lot of people have been telling me, when is the Roborock going to get a self-emptying bin? Well, here's my honest opinion on that. I think Roborock is in a really good position where they sell a lot of good robot vacuums, and there's no point in doing a lot of research and R&R to do a self-emptying bin right now. I believe that the demand for a self-emptying bin isn't that high. There's only just a handful of companies that offer it. That's just Shark and Roomba in the US. And now I know a lot of other companies try to do that with like the D-Bot. There's some older robot vacuums. But for now, I think having a self-emptying bin on a Roborock for Roborock's position isn't a good marketing standpoint. I think they'll just focus on making really good, efficient cleaners, and most of their fan base will be happy. Okay, we're almost to the halfway mark. I know a lot of you are probably sleeping right now. I'm sorry. You can always fast forward the video towards the end where I show how much these guys pick up, or feel free to skip through the video. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I actually prefer that. I want to provide this video for people who want to see the entire cleaning run, and for people who want to just skip to the parts they want to see. No problem. Now, I did speed up the sharks part because it kind of got confused here in the back, and you'll see that the Roomba is kind of doing its thing and sticking to its tried and true back and forth cleaning pattern. Now, one thing that they both have in common is they will both do a perimeter sweep after they finish up with the back and forth cleaning pattern, then they will return back to the chargers. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a little fun here. Can you name all the robot vacuums in this room? Yes, if you guys can, you guys will get a brownie point. I'll give you guys a hint. One of the robot vacuums I have is not a natural vacuum. Actually, I have two that aren't a vacuum in this room. One's actually a toy grade robot vacuum, and the other is an entertainment robot vacuum. So if you guys can name those two robot vacuums, you guys will get a brownie point for that. Okay, so if you guys guess what they were, yes, the one right now is the Kika, the one that's the biggest robot in the room. It's basically a mobile projector with wheels, has the ability to return to its charger to charge up, also has the ability to go to a certain room to display I believe a 60-inch projector or projection on a wall about, I believe, 3 or 5 feet away. It's not the best. The Loomis, I believe, is kind of dim, but you know, it's kind of more of a hobby project I bought for a good price a couple years ago or a year ago. Can't remember when I bought the thing, but unfortunately the company kind of shut down and they don't offer a lot of the features anymore, so the robot's just kind of sitting there. I may keep it, I may sell it. Okay, so the other robot that's not a cleaner is my toy robot, which is the iRobot Kiba 710. It's basically a military robot that is a bomb disposal, has a robotic arm, there's a camera on top, and this toy grade robot is made by New Bright, and they're a really good company. So if you have small children or even teenagers, this robot's really good because it's good for the hand-eye coordination, great for doing spy missions, great little toy robot. Now, this is my newest robot, or my old robot. This is the D-Bot. I believe it's the D77. It's made by Ecovacs. A lot of people like these older robot vacuums. I have a couple people that are fans on it. They also have a couple YouTube channels which they promote the D-Bots. I really haven't used much D-Bots. I had a R95. I was looking into getting the R98, which has a self-emptying bin, but from what I read, it's not really that great. It has a very small inlet and it doesn't pick up a lot of large chunks. Okay, so it looks like the Roomba is about done. It's going to finish up with its perimeter sweep. Also, it's going to do a perimeter sweep of the actual table, and it should call it quits. The shark is trying to do the same thing. It's going to do a perimeter sweep, and then it will call it quits. But unfortunately, the shark gets confused and stays in this area for a good amount of time. I believe it stayed in this area for about 10 minutes, but I'll speed up the video so you don't have to watch the shark struggle. Alright, so next thing I want to talk about is the worst robot vacuum I own. Yes, even though I like to promote these guys, I'm a big fanatic of robot vacuums, and I'm huge for a good deal and a company that stands behind their product. There are a couple companies that I believe are like a fly-by-night. One of that is the Rollerbot Laser Eye. Even though it had a really good technology, it had a front 3D laser system, one of the first in the robot vacuum market, but I think it was plagued with a poor app integration, poor design, and the company really doesn't stand behind the robot. Even though it's like 2.5 years old, it's still considered one of the best robot vacuums in the company's eyes, because all the other robots that the company offers is a random navigating, and the Rollerbot Laser Eye was a smart navigating robot. Okay, I think we're about done here. I'm gonna check the timestamp and we'll keep on moving. Okay, so one thing you may not know about Robot Master is I actually created this channel purely on my smartphone. I'm using a Galaxy Note 9, which is a great smartphone, has a lot of high-end features, and I was able to do a lot of cool editing effects. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers have high-end equipment, they have fancy cameras, I believe they're called DSLs, which make great film cameras, and also they use like MacBooks or Windows computers, Final Cut Pro to edit their software. But unfortunately, I don't have the time to do all that right now. I do work a lot, and I find it easier just to use a smartphone. So when I'm at work, I can just edit on the go, or if I'm at home, I can be walking around and still film and edit for you guys. Maybe in the future, I'll upgrade and get some fancy lighting, a new camera, and maybe a microphone. But for now, this is what I have. So hope you guys like this style of video editing style. I don't know what they call it. Okay, it looks like both these are trying to go around the table with the chair legs. They're both doing okay, and you'll see that the shark gets kind of confused, like I said a million times, but I'll go ahead and fast forward in that area. Okay, we're at the home stretch. Looks like both robot vacuums are just finishing up their perimeter sweep, and then they'll both call it quits and go back to the charging station. Both robots had no problem going back to the charging dock. Both the Shark and Roomba made a nice beeline to the docking station. So good job on both the robot vacuums. So before I show you how much these robot vacuums picked up, please smash the like button if you found this video to be interesting, or if you like this style of video. Helps me gauge if this video is popular or not, because I do look at my analytics, my thumbs up, my thumbs down, my comment engagement, and I kind of gauge what went wrong with the video, and I always try to constantly improve, maybe with a new styling, maybe a haircut. Yes, I need a haircut. I'm sorry, haven't got around to getting a haircut, but eventually I will get a haircut, and maybe my thumbs up will go up. Who knows? Anyways, okay, so it looks like these vacuums are making a nice straight line towards the self-emptying bins, and if you're new to my channel, you can clearly see I own a lot of robot vacuums. These are all paid out of pocket. No robot company sent them to me, so I try to do this for you guys, and I hope you guys like this channel. Alright, let's see how much these guys picked up. Let's start with the Shark IQ. One thing to know with the bin is a little wonky. You notice that I spilled some debris already just by taking it out. You have to be careful with the robot to kind of tilt it towards the rear of the robot so it doesn't spill out. Another thing is the bin is a little small, but the robot has the self-emptying bin feature, also a feature called evacuate and resume, which is a timer-based function. No dirt bin sensor or dirt bin full sensor, so keep an eye on that if you have a job that has a lot of debris, as the robot will fill up quickly and get clogged up. Now, the Roomba is a different story. It has those sensors, so it can fill up its bin, detect that, and return it to the self-emptying bin dock and resume its job. Alright, so it looks like they're about on par. What do you guys think? Who picked up more of the chips? Okay, have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys are safe out there. It's getting towards the holidays, so you know, there's a lot of people out there shopping, having a good old time. But statistically, they say the holidays people get injured the most. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what hospital staff tell me. Alright, see you later.